Hello. Hi. This is my first episode that I am filming on here. Yes, I'm doing it from my car. It's nice and toasty warm. I don't care. At least you get a scenic view. So, welcome to my first episode. My name is Rachel. I currently live out by Buffalo, New York. I actually moved here from Ohio back in 2012. So we'll give a little bit of a rundown about me. Okay. I was born in the 80s. My mom still looks young for her age, and so do I, and so do my kids. It's genes, it happens that way. Anyway, um, the whole point of making this video is to kind of go through my life. So anyway, me, 80s, cute, got it. Okay. I have a brother. I also have two stepbrothers. I have two daughters. They're both 18 and 20, so they're full grown. Um, right now I'm married. I have two dogs, beagles. Yes, I know, beagles, but they're sweet and they can be loud and their breath is stonky, but I don't care. They're my babies and I love them. And I have two cats. So, ever since I was a kid, I always had an abundance of energy. Um, Anytime I had a bad day, I would always turn on the radio. Music is my connection. It's my lifeline. Um, it keeps me calm. Now, do I still love music? Of course I do. I would never turn it down. Every time I drive, I listen to music. Somehow it just soothes my soul. Anyway, back to what I was saying. So I used to have a lot of energy. When I was a teenager, I had a job, went to school, graduated. Originally from a town called Lima, Ohio. Lima, like the lima bean, not Lima, Peru. Okay? If you say Lima, Lima, okay, you're fine. So, in the sixth grade, I moved to Wapakoneta and graduated from there. I went to college for a little while. I lived with my grandmother after high school. I decided to go to school for nursing. And before then, I wanted to go to college for journalism, be a radio DJ. I actually did take classes when I was 11 years old to be a radio DJ. Our community center at the time offered some classes, and they loved the way that I had read news, so they actually put me on the radio at least once a week. Pretty cool. Taping didn't take that long, but once it got done, it was a good show. Sunday mornings, gotta catch it just right. If you don't catch it, you lose it. So, I was always shy, still am. I cared and worried about what people thought. I always thought that I was never any good with this stuff. But now that I think back on it, it's like, yeah, I'm pretty good at it. you know, but it's okay. It's okay. So, how did I get here? We're getting to that point. 2004, I married my kids' father. 2005, I became a mom for the first time. And in 2007, I became a mom again to my youngest. Both my girls are just like me. Unfortunately, they have my attitude, so not a good thing if they get mad or upset. Yeah. Just forewarn. But they're good kids. They're very smart. They're very intelligent. I love them to pieces. I think about them every day. Even though they live here at home with us right now, they're creative. So I couldn't ask for anything better. So kind of a mix of today's technology with, the classic 80s, 90s type of upbringing. So, oh yeah, they're a good bunch. Anyway, in 2008, when I was getting my tonsils and adenoids removed because they just kept swelling up really bad, my platelets at that time were starting to drop. There was at 128,000. Normal platelet count is between 150,000, 450,000. Okay. They said it was a little low, but I could still do surgery and I would be okay. I had the surgery, scab fell off too early, bled from my throat, went back in, have them recauterize where they cut, got it taken care of, and now I'm here to live and tell the story. Unfortunately, that is not the last time that I have to deal with surgeries. 3 years ago, actually today, I found out I had thyroid cancer. Now, somebody like me, I never thought in a million years that the word cancer would come up. It sucks. I was on the phone with my family doctor for about a good half hour. He was answering my questions that I had and basically giving me hope and telling me it is treatable. We can get this taken care of for you. I'm going to refer you to a hospital that will take very good care of you to get this situated. He referred me to Roswell Park Cancer Institute, and I have to say this, those got all the doctors, the nurses, the whole staff, every single person, from valet to housekeeping to nursing to, imaging, everything, even the food. Food was good. Food was good. For a hospital, oh yeah, very good. They saved my life. I don't know what I would do without them. I mean, I could have went somewhere else and had the surgery, but I don't know if I would have been taken as great care of as I do with them. I go for follow-ups every year. I also see the blood team, or they call the leukemia team, for my blood work. And I'm going to get into that here in just a minute. When I heard the word cancer, I literally dropped to my knees and I was bawling. It was a horrible feeling. I always knew something was wrong with my thyroid, because my weight was not, it would just fluctuate. And it's like, something's got to be wrong with it. It's got to be my thyroid. It's got to be. And my cat, he actually kept snuggling up against it's probably right here. I'm pointing at my right side. He kept burying his head into my right side of my neck. And I just thought he was being cuddly. He figured it out 6 months before I found out and my doctors found out. I had papillary carcinoma. It's called Bethesda 6. They removed it, my whole thyroid and my right parathyroid glands on April 18th of 2023. And come to find out that the kind that I have, even though it's a slow growing cancer, it was an aggressive form. So it was a tall cell variant. It was stage 1, and it was a good thing that they got it out when they did. I'm very glad that they did, and that they acted quickly on it. Unfortunately, I had to go back in 4 months later because they did a paracentesis while I was in the middle of my radiation iodine therapy, or radioactive iodine therapy, because I was so swollen. I filled up with so much water. I was up to about 400 pounds, guys. It was bad. The day after they did the paracentesis, they actually pulled 5 liters of fluid out of my stomach. 5 liters. Yes, I said that right. 5 liters. I went in for the thoracentesis, which is the removal of fluid from the lung, and they did it on the left side. I started to shake and shiver really bad to the point where they had to stop. They had 1 more liter that they took out, and I went into shock. I was in the hospital for a month. I almost died. Yeah. I had no idea what was going on. Didn't even know where I was half the time. All I knew is I didn't want to be there. I wanted to go home. My kidneys recovered because they were worried that my kidneys were failing, because they were. Everything was shutting down. My kidneys recovered at 100%. That was a blessing. Everything else started going up, except my liver. I was having liver issues before then, but the surgery and then the shock accelerated things, and now I'm currently on the liver transplant list. Been on the list since May of 2024. Yeah. This isn't in my bingo cards, guys, okay? It's not something that you plan when they ask you what you want to be when you grow up. I never, I didn't look at them and say, well, gee, I want to go through cancer, and I want to, have surgery to where I need a new liver, and oh, yeah, can you throw in all the other piddly crap that I'm going to have to deal with? Because that would just be super. It sucks. I'm just going to say it. It sucks. Having to constantly think and deal every single day. I'm thankful that I wake up every morning. Because there could be a chance that one day I might not wake up at all. And for people that don't know, liver, yes, it's an organ. It is one of the most important organs in your body. It is your body's filter. Think of your liver. Okay, think of your body as a car, okay? Got to have an engine. Go vroom vroom to go. But with that engine, you also need filters to filter out any stuff that does not belong in the engine and any other part of your car that can cause damage. Liver's the same way. It filters your blood. It filters the food that you eat. It does so much for the body that when it is healthy enough, even if it gets damaged a little bit, it can repair itself. That's how resilient this liver is. However, if you have scarring on the liver, it's hard to heal it, especially when it's really deep. And my scars, I have liver cirrhosis. The scars are so deep that it's starting to shrink my liver. Yet my MELD score is low right now. Don't ask me how. I want to keep it low as long as I can. That means I can get a living donor. There's always risk with surgeries, and yeah, it could be less complications, but from what? You know, it's no fun. No fun. Yeah. I think about my kids. I worry about if they go through what I'm going through someday. I hope that they are working on hopefully a cure to where as soon as somebody is diagnosed with the issue, like a real early stage, that they can just take care of it, and then their liver goes back to being healthy and happy. And of course, they'll probably tell them like, hey, listen, you're not going to be able to drink alcohol anymore. We need to keep this pristine as much as possible. Totally fine. Just like it would if you were to get a transplant. And there's a lot of rules that you have to follow. There's a lot of things that you got to do. It sucks the fun out of it a little bit, but I would rather listen to their orders versus not listening. It's hard to get my nutrition in because I have to eat smaller portions now. If I don't, because the liver doesn't really do a good job of filtering it now. So it's like, it sits there. And if you get like a lot of ammonia, which you can get from like animal meats and some plants too, a lot of ammonia depending on what it is. I don't think it's really that bad in plants, but I could be wrong. I am not a doctor. Repeat, I am not a doctor. But anyway, I have to take a lot of medications daily. My thyroid medicine I have to take for life anyway because I don't have a thyroid anymore. As for everything else, I'm on 2 diuretics, a medicine that makes me poop, another medicine that keeps me from pooping my pants, a beta blocker to help with my blood pressure, injection to help me with weight loss so I can get a living donor because I'm still overweight. But the sucky thing about a liver is the worse it is, the more water you gain. Ain't that a lovely trade-off? I don't know. But once getting the transplant, it should help with that. With, the swelling and everything else. So I would have to take very, 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 very good care of myself right after. So why not start it now? So I've been doing exercises at home, privacy of my own home, privacy of my bedroom. That way, I am the only gym member in there. Maybe my dog watches me from the bed while she's snoozing. I don't care. Or the cat, or they both do. It's crazy. Do I get emotional about it? Absolutely. This is depressing shit, and I don't wish this on anybody. So if you have gone through it or you're going through it right now, I am so sorry. Every person is different. Their journey is different. They may have the similar procedure, but the outcome is always going to be different. It just depends on the person's body. It depends on their healing. It depends on what they do, how they do, what kind of help they have, if they even have any. It's a lot. It's definitely a lot. I ain't gonna lie. So, one of the questions that I did receive that I am going to answer here is this something that I have done to myself, or is it hereditary? Like me and I get it from family. So, no, I did not do this to myself. I didn't wake up one day and decide I was going to, basically kill the crap out of my liver, by heavy drinking or drug use or whatever. I don't do that stuff, okay? My stepdad used to be a police officer. So, yeah, I would not do that. I would drink. I used to drink. It was social drinking. But it was like only 1 or 2 drinks. And, yeah, I won't get into that one. I had an event that happened to me a very long time ago that I wish to not talk about. But anyway, it is hereditary. It does run in our family. So my grandmother, or actually, let me go back. My grandfather died from idiopathic pulmonary fibrosis. So he had scarring tissue of the lungs. They noticed when they were removing his gallbladder, he also had liver cirrhosis as well. My grandmother had liver cirrhosis. She had autoimmune hepatitis, I believe. Sorry, had a hair that was driving me crazy. She did not get the transplant. They gave her, they said if she got the transplant, she probably would make it like a year, maybe. And she decided that she did not want to go through all of that. And she passed away in 2011 at age 78. I miss her every day. I wish I would have known that she was sick with it, Had I known, I probably would have pushed my doctors a little further and been like, hey, this runs in my family. I need to get checked. Can you please run the test so I can figure this out? So if I do have it, I can get on top of it. With a lot of the things that happened to her, she kept private, which a lot of people did back in her time. So I like to be more vocal about it, because if it can be done now and it can be made aware, maybe that could save somebody else, their life, to where they wouldn't need to go through a transplant and get treatment and heal. That's the whole goal of what I'm doing. I don't want people going through what I'm going through right now. It sucks. I'm going to say it again. I'm going to say it a million times. It sucks. Sucks. Okay? My mother had a liver transplant back in 2021. So actually 10 years after her mom died, she had the same exact thing that her mother, which is my grandmother, was going through, and she got a transplant. She was 2 weeks away from dying. I almost had to bury my mom. And when I saw her, like 3 months before she had her transplant, she didn't look like my mom. And I drove back to the hotel after spending some time with her, and I cried because I'm like, oh God, I'm going to lose my mom. But she got lucky. She got a transplant, worked out in her favor. Last year, my uncle, her brother, got a liver transplant as well. So it definitely runs in our family. And it's a very, very strong thing to have. And I don't wish this on anybody. And it's like, if you know something's wrong and you're not getting checked, please get checked. There are good doctors out there. There are physicians and nurses that do care about their patients, that care about what happens to them, and be there if you have any questions, and not just act like you're wasting their time. Just, if you love yourself, take care of yourself. We only get one vessel, guys. We really do. And depending on how many chances we get in this world to continue in that vessel, sometimes it's out of our hands. And that's a shame. Sometimes if we can say something and be proactive about it, instead of saying, oh, well, I don't know, I should have got myself checked, you can say, at least I got myself checked. I'm glad that I got myself checked. I'm not glad that I have to go through it, but, I'll do anything to stay alive. My time is not up. It is not up yet. I still have a whole lot of life to live. And I want to watch my girls graduate college, get married, buy their first home. If they have babies, I want to see my grandbabies. If they have furry grandbabies like dogs, cats, that's fine with me. I'll still be grandma no matter what. Only except instead of taking them to a toy store, I take them to PetSmart or Pet Supplies Plus. Let them pick out their toys and their snacks, and they can keep it at grandma's house, and I'll load them up with snacky treats and spoiled rottenness until send them home to their moms. I just, and I'm sure my kids worry about me. I worry about me. So, I do have hobbies. Obviously, watching TV is not a hobby. Can make it a hobby, but I love music. I don't know how to play an instrument, but I do love to sing. I used to be pretty good. I haven't practiced in a really long time. I want to get back into training my vocals again. It's just something to pass the time. My friends, I got 3 best friends that live in Ohio. I miss all 3 of you girlies, and then more to come, I'm sure, But these ladies have been there for me, and I don't know what I would do without them. My mom I don't know what I would do without her. I'm glad she's still here, you know. And I'm sure my stepdad's glad that she's here too. That way he's not in the house all by himself. He doesn't like to sit still either. He likes to keep busy. I'm the same way. But hopefully there's going to be, my goal for this is to do some topics to talk about that, I'm more aware of, or maybe something that I see that should be talked about. Maybe having guest people on to talk about stuff, someday. This is just what they call a prototype, but it's me getting out there and basically saying hi, and this is what I'm dealing with right now. But this is me. My name is Rachel, and this is my health and life journey that I'm taking. And I hope that all of you can join along with me as I navigate through the lovely, lovely stuff I call my life. Have a great day, everybody. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.